Hey guys, good morning. I wanted to stop in today and I thought about doing a tag video, so that's what I'm going to do. As you all know, I'm all over Facebook. I'm watching all of your journeys. And I'm also on obesity help. Yeah, so there's a lot of information out there and it seems to be different for every center. It's for every bariatric center. I know that here in Canada, in the GTA, there are a couple different centers. There's the Toronto Western Hospital, there's Humber River Regional, and if you go a little further out, there's Ottawa, and etc., etc. What I do know is that the information given at each one of those centers is a little different. And then, obviously, Americans are given different information from what us Canadians are given. And I thought, what a way to be successful and help each other be successful, but to share that information. You guys out there that were at a different center may have been told something different than, what I was told, and maybe I'm missing something. So ultimately, at the end of the day, I want to see all of your successes. I want to see my own success, and information is a good way to get that. So I thought that I'd share the information that I was given or what I felt was important, and then you guys can do a tag video too with the information that you felt was important, or tips and tricks that you have from your own journey, things that helped you lose, just tips of your journey. And really, bariatrics is has been going on for a very, very long time. They're more successful today than they were 20 years ago, and there's a reason for that. And they're building information about it at the moment, so it's kind of the information that we're given is based on other people's successes and failures. So anyways, without any further ado, I'll go over what the information that I got. And I feel like most importantly, obviously, has to do with food, the kind of food you're eating and when you're eating it. And my center says to eat your protein first. They said to get one of those small plates, the little round ones are about that big. They said to take one of those plates. Half of that should be protein, a fourth of that should be fruits and vegetables, and a fourth of it should be grains, and you should eat them in that order. So protein first, then fruits and vegetables, then your grains. And at the end of that plate, you should be full. And I believe that the reason for that is because it's human nature to want to finish what's on your plate. And a lot of us have been taught by our families to finish what's on your plate. So people will tend to stuff themselves or overstuff themselves if there's more food on their plate than they can actually eat. So, and that's how you stretch your pouch. So you don't want to do that. So it looks like this, guys. Oop. Eat your protein first. Protein, vegetables and fruit, grains and starch. And for your regular diet, the technique that they recommend for eating is to first and most importantly separate your food and your liquids by half an hour on either side. So don't drink for a half hour before you eat, and don't drink for a half hour after you eat. Sorry, my half off messed up here. Okay, so and I felt that was most important. I did see a video on why you shouldn't eat and drink at the same time. It was pretty telling, and if I can find the link again, I'll put it. Where's my hand? I'll put it down below for you guys to see. It was pretty telling. So you're supposed to eat and drink very slowly. Take small bites. Chew well. And when you're drinking, to take small sips. You want to chew your food very well. Concentrate on eating. Pay attention to how full you feel, and don't eat until you feel stuffed. And don't go more than 4 hours without eating. it's important to get in, enough calories that you're not, starving to death. And I mean that not in the, man, I'm starving, what you would say if you felt hungry, but actually starving to death. You have to get in enough calories. So eating every 4 hours is a good reminder of making sure you're getting protein in at those times. They said that before surgery, your stomach is the size of a football. After surgery, it's about the size of a golf ball. And then by the time you're finished healing, it's about the size of a tennis ball. So it goes from the size of a football, which can hold a lot of food, to a golf ball or an egg that can hold between 1/4 and 1/2 a cup of food. And then when you're finished healing, it can hold up to a cup of food. So you don't want to push it. They recommend at my center that you measure your food, put it on your plate in measured portions. That way, there's not more food on your plate, or there's not a lot more food on your plate than you can eat. Yeah, they said to get ready by stocking your fridge with appropriate food choices before surgery. So right after surgery, you can eat liquids, so making sure that you have your sugar-free puddings and your jellos and your protein shakes and your blah blah blah. They say have smaller plates, bowls, and cups, measuring cups and spoons, have a blender or a food processor, find a food journal. And I think that this is really important. I think it's really important to document what you're eating. That way, if you need to make a change in what you're eating, say you're not losing as much as you should, or you're losing too much, or you feel shaky or whatever, you can kind of refer back to that journal and see, am I getting enough calories? Am I getting enough protein? Am I getting enough fluid? Or am I getting too much? Is there something that I'm eating that's too high in calories that I may need to cut back on? Am I putting in starches first and then not having room for my protein? Am I putting in something that I know is going to go through quickly so that I can eat again? Guys, you can eat around this procedure. That's the truth. And it's important that if you want to be successful, which we all do, nobody goes through surgery to not be successful. So to keep your eyes on the prize and know that, if I'm eating or if I'm drinking something that's high in calories and I'm putting in, say, 500 calories a day in just fluid, and then I'm eating on top of that, you can eat around it, and I don't think any of us do. So kind of reminder to make an effort not to eat around it, and I think the food journal helps with that. So you want to make sure that you have your vitamins and mineral supplements, your protein powder and or shakes. You want to clean out your cupboard of junk food. That's easier for somebody like me without children than it is for somebody with children, but if you do have children, you do have junk in the house, you want to avoid that. They suggest buying a cooking timer, not to cook by, but to eat by. Try making small changes in your diet and activity level before surgery, and set positive and realistic goals. The heck was I going to say? Oh, somebody told my sister that, especially for those of you who are new out of surgery, or you're like me and you're about to have surgery, when you start implementing new foods into your diet, somebody suggested, and has been very successful for my sister, so I'll share it here, to have a bite, chew it really well, swallow, put your fork down, and walk away from the food for a few minutes. They said that you'll know very quickly whether or not that food which you're eating is going to sit well. And if it's not going to sit well, you have the opportunity to walk away from it before it actually makes you sick. So let's say, for instance, that you're trying a meatball for the first time. Take a small bit of the meatball, chew it up really well, swallow it, get up and walk away. If ground beef isn't going to sit well with you, you will know before you've eaten the whole meatball or before you've eaten 2 meatballs. So, and that's been very successful for her, so I thought I'd share that little tip. So that's, you know, it's not most of the information. They gave me a ton of information, but it's what I felt was really important. That they recommend that you eat 3 meals a day, 1 to 3 snacks a day, 6 to 8 cups of calorie-free liquids a day, eat breakfast, get exercise 30 minutes 5 times a week, eat vegetables and fruit at every meal. You know, use your portion control, so use your small plate and your measuring cups, or however you need to control the amount of food that you're putting on your plate to eat, and to try to eat every 3 to 4 hours. And I think that that information is probably the most important information that I've been given. And I'm very interested to hear the tips and tricks and the information that you guys have. I know Guelph gives different information, and Ottawa gives different information, and Humber River Regional Hospital gives different information, and I am positive that Americans get different information than we do, and I think that we can be all helpful in each other's success with our tips and tricks that we've picked up along the way. For those of you who are veterans, or you know, long enough post-op to have tried, tested, and true some of these things, and for those of us that are just coming out and have information packages like this that we can share with each other, I think it'll be great for us to share that information. So anyway, guys, that's what I have, and I look forward to you hearing your responses and the information that you guys have. All right, have a good day, guys. Bye.